TV. Your will, your choice.
Hello everyone, the beloved viewers of TV. Here with me always in our program, Lift Me Up. With me, Lora, Atwooki. Always bringing you different challenges, solving them, finding how different things around us have tried to affect us, and they have tried to help us every day. And today's topic, we shall be talking about social media around us. How has social media affected us, or how has social media helped us? And with me, I have a guest who is going to be giving us different ways, and we shall be talking about how social media has affected the different things. And before we start our discussion, I'm going to give him a chance. He's going to talk about himself, because I know you love him.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Michael Mhunza. I don't like talking about myself because that is not my way of life. But just in case you want to see me, you find me at Makerere University, Department of Performing Arts and Film. You also find me at Redeemed Church. You also find me at the National Fellowship of Born Again Pentecostal Churches of Uganda. Thank you.
We are talking to Michael Mhunza, and I know I call him doctor, and he's a director of Momo Products. By the way, he didn't want to talk about that, but I'm so glad to talk about it. Yeah, it has nice cakes, good, different Momo products. If you go to different supermarkets, different things, you can find them there. Today, our viewer, as I said earlier, shall be talking about social media. With social media, I'm talking about WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, different newspapers, the things which bring us together in a collection. You know, in most cases, the youth, the old, the young, they love mostly to stay on social media to associate. Yes, it's good, we associate with others, we have different ways we make up with others, we talk. There's a way it connects us and brings us together in a way that is far different from, and it differs from individual to individual. And today we are going to talk about, yes, it's good, and tell the disadvantage side of it. But today we are first going to talk about the advantage, how it has helped people come up together. Doctor, I would like to ask, how has social media, regarding depression, how has it helped someone who is in depression?
Thank you, Laura. Depression is a state of mind, is a scientific state where somebody just feels dejected, feels hated, feels low, and then sometimes it develops and goes deep and can cause a lot of sickness and some social, psychological problems. And if not handled, it can even deteriorate into physical problems, and somebody can look sick. So how is social media helping or increasing the state of depression?
Yeah.
Social media, especially with the youths, is quite a dangerous topic. Quite broad, quite interesting, but also quite disturbing. The youths have one major problem, and that is identity. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be felt. And when social media either disturbs that or promotes that, then there is the positive benefit and also the negative benefit. I'll give you an example. If somebody posts a profile on Twitter or WhatsApp or any of those other social medias and looks at who has looked at it and finds that nobody has, they get so much disturbed. And yet for our lives, when you do have something of value, you will not wish many people to look at it. But these days, people are just open with their lives and they want people to look at them.
Okay.
So, when you don't have a pull factor and you don't have many people coming to your platforms, many people can get sick, many people can feel dejected, many people can feel hated, many people can feel, not so much loved, and that can be a trigger factor for depression. But on the other hand, when it is used beautifully, especially for those that have outlets or ideas or something, like today I just posted an idea.
Okay.
And I asked, am I a scientist? Am I a scientist or an artist? By training or by definition, especially by the pseudo-intellectuals, I am supposed to be an artist. But by experience and by what I do, I also do a lot of innovations which fall into the realm of science. So what am I? And so many people already have read it and have posted responses, and another one saying, I am going to share it to a number of platforms. So it is gone viral. It has even reached the UK. It has reached the US. So in that kind of thing, you can use the social media for promotion, self-promotion, marketing, and so on and so forth. And then it will prove very exciting, very noble, and you will love it.
Doctor, as when it comes to promotions, there are people who cannot promote themselves on social media, and some of us, we just post for fun, likes, the comments, if it is Twitter, for the tweets, and you find out that yes, the tweets sometimes the responses they bring out, sometimes they over push us, they over raise our pride. You find when someone is saying, oh, you look beautiful, and then you find out that there is no way it pushes someone. How has this kind of commentaries that they have tried to push on us tried to affect the normal lives of our
now that is where the problem is. When somebody is seeking for identity kind of assertion, identity confirmation, and they get the positive attributes, the positive compliments, they will be okay. But if somebody who is still seeking for identity gets negative proclamations about anything, about just a small thing, it will trigger into hatred, into self-unbelief, into those things. So it becomes very complex to affirm or to negate. It is not good for young ones who have not yet established a strong character, who have not yet established their identity, to get engrossed into social media, because it can be disruptive.
Okay. And you find on social media, when it comes to WhatsApp and Facebook, in fact all the social media platforms, find that these people who post memes, and sometimes the memes try to contradict with what somebody is feeling. Maybe I've gone through a relationship depression, and you find someone is posting my babe and I, my husband and I, and you find out that there's this person who is having that problem with that specific idea, and when I land on it, there's the way it tortures me. And in your point of view, how can someone take these memes that they try to post?
Like the problem with Africans, we jump onto things without preparing the background for their survival. In America, for example, when something is being introduced, they study the psychology and how it is going to affect the human being, and how it is going to affect the psyche, and how that psycho effect is going to affect the emotional and even growth. Now for us here, we just jump into things. Of course it is programming by them. They want us probably to get lost, to get confused, and that kind of thing. So it is upon us to have control measures. Control measures. If somebody is getting on social media, how prepared are they? Because it can be addictive, it can be disruptive. Somebody is supposed to be studying, then they are peeping into social media. And if they are supposed to concentrate, and then aspects on social media come on, disrupting them, the whole day will be lost. Now, like for those contradicting memes, we are supposed to understand if somebody is feeling dejected. They say where the lepers are, you don't point fingers.
Okay.
You don't point fingers where lepers.
Okay. Why are you not allowed to point fingers to?
Because they will feel that you're laughing at them.
Okay.
So if somebody is already in a broken relationship and you bring memes or emojis that show that for you are in an intimate relationship, it's kind of a pinch into their wound. They will begin hating, they will begin envying, they will begin,
Okay.
so feeling for them, why is it me that is not in a good relationship? Why is it always her who succeeds?
Okay.
And it can trigger on issues of social conflict and the relationship disruptions. So,
honestly, if be myself, there is the way I feel when somebody likes, comments on my posts. There is the way somehow, somewhere there are people who comment and they're like, yeah, they just say thank you. Some people say put hearts, and there is how it cheers me up. At times it raises my esteem, but then you find out that there are other people who are just commenting because they have seen they have to comment, and you may find out that there is how it pushes me too high and my pride is over exceeded.
that is it. I've seen people real quarreling that so and so has not liked my post, so and so has not commented, and hatred, relationship disruption can begin from there. That when I post, such and such a person does not like, does not comment, does not, show that they are with me, and disruptions begin. Or even somebody begins self-hatred or self-disapproval, and then they deteriorate to first levels of depression, and it can go on to high levels of depression.
Okay.
So for you are lucky, and that's what I call the pull factor. Who are your relationships? What is your power to pull? Who are those people that look up to you for appreciation? Like I told you, this post I've just made this morning, things are flowing in from everywhere. When I last saw, it was quite a lot. It was quite a lot of responses that came in. But because of my networks, so it can be used as a means of instant communication. I've not moved from the office, but my communication has gone all over the world.
Okay.
That is the power of it. But I also have capacity to control myself. If it hasn't gone out, it doesn't hurt. I have done my part.
Okay.
But for those who are not yet able to feel that it is okay if it doesn't move out, it becomes very bad. And so it needs real control, it needs orientation, it needs management.
Doctor, somehow, somewhere with depression, there is why I find that people, we have different ways in which we hide our trauma. You find out that me, personally, when I'm into a problem or when I feel stressed or too much, I hide behind written. I write, I pour out my mind, I write it down. And you're going to find out that there is the way it helps me. Maybe I write it in another way, somebody comments on it in another direction. And when you find other people, there's the way they bring out just for fun. Is it that every day, every time we have to think that whatever everyone posts is the way it is?
No, life has it that a problem shared is a problem lessened. So when people get issues and they share out, it is a burden released. Just writing is a burden released, and at that point it can be helpful. But how it becomes difficult is when somebody releases a solution, a seemingly solution, something like seems like a solution, and then it becomes a burden. When one begins watching how many people have commented on my burden, how many people have liked, and so if they have liked, so they have appreciated what I have done, that one is okay. But if somebody is not enhanced to follow up or to neglect, the burden, not to go with the burden in the grave, then it becomes bad.
Okay.
So writing is an expression,
Okay.
and it can release emotions, it can release the burden, but then you should not follow it up.
Okay, dear viewer, we are going in for a commercial break. We shall be coming back with another section of the discussion. Please stay on, don't touch on that knob.
PTV, your will, your choice.
Dear viewer, welcome back from that good commercial break, and back with me. Reminder, I'm Lora Atwooki with Dr. Michael Muhumuza, director of Momo Products, Yummy Cakes, and other cosmetics. By the way, there are those beautifying other things like that. Momo Products, everywhere you go, you can find them there. And doctor, when we left, we stopped on how you decide your things and how you bring out your emotions. Okay, social media is some of the things that we find out that we need to associate. Yes, it's an associating factor, or that the unifying platform whereby we come out and associate. But sometimes you find out that there is the way social media itself, it has affected us, the depressed. You find out that if someone writes something, sometimes it's kind of negatively or it's understood in a different way. And when people fail to understand it, there's the way it affects people. So, on your point of view, how would you help someone who posts something and gets that negative response?
First of all, we have to understand who should associate, why should they associate, who are they, because they say birds of the same feathers flock together. Sometimes you find that somebody is imposing him or herself on a certain social class where they do not belong. And some of those are the causes of misinterpretation. But also some, because of the social networks, they are not tuned. There is no tuning of the writer and the receiver of that message. So it brings out miscommunication. But then others write out of impulse without thinking about it, without thinking the effect it will create. And so, as I said, where lepers are, you don't point your fingers. People end up misinterpreting them. For example, if somebody is in a blissful love relationship, but is amongst people who have broken relationships, and they share about the joy of their relationship, the other people will take it like ye panka, ye matira, ye raga. You know, he or she doesn't understand these things, and that kind of.
They do already hear sometimes. Yeah. That's what you say.
Yeah. So that is the problem. We should understand whom we relate with. If I share this joke, will it be appreciated by the others? If I share myself, issues about myself, will people understand them and appreciate them? Then, am I tuned to communicate the issue that I am supposed to communicate in an appropriate way? Or is what I'm going to communicate suitable? One time I was asking, you know, owls.
Yeah.
The birds, eh? The owls, the birds.
But I don't know.
By nature, birds are supposed to communicate.
Okay.
But by omen, when an owl communicates, human beings hate it.
It's a bad omen.
But must it not speak? Must an owl not speak? So
it should.
It should.
Yeah, it should.
But why is it that whenever it speaks, people take it for an omen?
But it brings bad news.
Must it always keep quiet?
No. At times should bring us the bad news.
Now, there are people in us who look like they are always, every time they speak, they mislead, they misquote, they miscommunicate, and you wonder, aren't they supposed to speak? So, do they call them Abebikwa? Those
I don't know.
So it is also possible on social media. Whenever somebody speaks and then, but now you're touching my entity, I get a movie.
Okay.
You know,
I
things
get
like
that
that.
point.
So understand whom you are speaking with. Speak with people amongst the same level, the same wavelength, the same aspirations, the same problems. Because when you have, when a clan or a society has lost people or has lost somebody, they cry together, they mourn together, and it is okay. But if you bring in your other world, then they look at you as somebody who is bad. So understand the community with which you are speaking, understand the flow, the connection, so that you can speak within that kind of space. And people will like it. People will like you. People will appreciate you.
Regarding the esteem, the raising, and the lowering, if I need a therapy, do I need to go social media wise, or I need to seek other kinds or other means of getting myself?
It all depends. If you're in a social group that is collegial, that is friendly, that is your category, like you're in a group, yeah, it is okay to share your problems, and then you will get people giving you advice, answers, solutions, tips on how to manage that kind of situation. But if you are not in a group in which you flow, it will not work. People will begin bashing you, people will begin hating you, people will begin criticizing you, and so on and so forth. They will not understand. So it will be a miscommunication. Probably good, but in a wrong audience. So we should learn to judge whom we are speaking with and how we communicate our issues.
So that means our communication, how we bring it out, how we express ourselves, and with whom we try to bring out our communication matters when we are in the stressful moment, the desperate times. So, and at times we may fail to find out who is who in the desperate times, and we try to, like, if in most cases when depression is too much, most people resort to suicide, and others resort into drug addicts and many other sorts of things because they want to be appreciated. But when you find out on social media, yeah, the other people are successful in doing such, but which solution can someone get regarding what other people do in their situation, in their hardships?
Biblically, the Bible tells us that testimony is a tool to overcoming. So, and testimony does not mean that you have a negative, a positive side only. If you have fallen sick and then you go to a certain doctor and he or she treats you well, you tell people that, oh, I was sick of this and this and I went to this doctor. He or she handled me very well, and it works. But it goes back to associational issues. So it is very important to understand the limits of our networks. It's very important to understand the flow. Like we say, birds of the same feathers flock together. No, don't impose yourself. You have seen other people imposing themselves on media. They are still very low, they want to rise high. They are still high, they want to keep low, that kind of thing. They will get hitbacks and it will be dangerous for their lives. So understand how you are going to share your issues, with whom and where.
Okay.
Not all good things are good always, and not every bad thing is always bad.
Our viewer, not everything is good all the time, and not everything is bad all the time. Everyone has got hardships, they get the stress. And do you also get stressed somewhere somehow?
I'm too busy for stress.
Oh, too busy. And I think in most cases,
and also too positive.
Too positive for stress and too busy for stress. So
like
that
they
means
say, an empty tin is a devil's workshop. Empty tins make the loudest noise, and an empty what? An empty something is a devil's workshop.
Okay.
An empty mind is a devil's workshop. I have quite a lot to engage my mind. I have quite a lot to engage my life. I keep positive. I keep busy. I have no time for depression. I have no time for.
I've learned something from you, and an empty mind is
a devil's workshop.
A devil's workshop. So that if you make yourself idle, you're going to feel, I don't know, you're going to give yourself a room.
Like you can listen to naysayers, those haters, those what. Me, you hate me, you speak. I have no space for that in my life.
And he said positivity.
Yes.
Positivity by now. So avoid negativity if you are on social media platforms. I think we should make sure that we keep that positive mind. Even if someone brings out the negative, you should, and we should learn how to get the positive out of it.
Yes.
In most cases, when there is a disadvantage, there is always an advantage side of it, and an advantage has a disadvantage side of it. So always strive to getting the positive side of it. And if we talk about Peter, I remember about Peter when he tried to walk on water.
On water, yes.
At first he was like, no, I can't. Then when he went, he was like, he tried to sing. Then he was like, focus. These are all the focus. The focus was on the positive that I can do it. And then when tricked that time, he walked. Then when he made some good steps, he again went down to the negative.
Yes.
So our viewer, you should realize that in most cases the positive is going to push you to the good side.
Yes.
If you focus on the negative, you're going to fail out all the time. And even if you've moved a mile and you put in the negative, you're going to fail from where you are, and no one's going to pick you up. So for social medias, we should make sure that we keep it positive. And Doctor, I don't want to close before you say something to our viewers.
Viewers, I have been very blessed to talk to you. Michael Muza Akiki is my name. I love that so much. I love being positive. I love being creative. I love being busy. And I love God.
Okay, viewer, one thing I've learned so many things, by the way. Posting, if you post for to be seen, yes, people are going to see and they give their reactions, but always have a positive side of what you're doing. If you're posting on social media, get a positive side of it. If it comes out negative, have that positive that's going to keep you standing. And if they give you that positive, let it not push you above your pride, because too much pride, it's going to lead to our breaking. Yeah, sometimes you find when somebody is commenting when it's too much, when then you be like, honestly, then when you meet another person, gives you another response which is contradicting with what you got earlier, it's going again to lower you down. So you're going to keep in an unstable equilibrium. But in most cases, let's try to find a stable one. If the negative comes, it's okay. If the positive comes, we are always there balancing the equilibrium. So always keep the positive mind and make yourself busy. If you over-focus on the problem, you're never going to solve it. But always focus on the ways forward, how I get out of it. And in most cases, trust God and be a believer. Believe sometimes the ups are there, the downs are there. Everyone has got that time when they are up and they are down. Always our viewer, always stay here with me, Lora Atwooki, I'm Atwooki. So he said he's a kick, so this time around me, I'm Atwooki. So always stay here, tuned in on PTV. We shall always be bringing you different people to discuss different challenges. In your lovely program, Lift Me Up, always on Monday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Stay tuned. I love you and stay blessed.
TV. Your will, your choice.